Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to each of you on this Shabbat morning that falls during these days of Sukkot, our festival of the harvest, our festival of Thanksgiving. And so we are pleased to welcome each of you, and in the tradition of our congregation, to read and lead the service from beneath this sukkah, as well as the sukkah, the shelter that is just outside, which if you'd like, you'll have the chance to visit a little later on. We are delighted to welcome each of you, especially those of you who are our guests. We're happy to have you here as we worship together and as we celebrate Shabbat, and today especially as we enjoy the Bat Mitzvah of Anna Forman. And so we offer our wishes of Mazel Tov to you, Anna, and to all of your family and your friends who are joining you celebrating on this special day. Certainly, we warmly offer those wishes of Mazel Tov to Anna's parents, to Sherry and Joel Forman, and his sister Ellie, all of whom are participating in the service this morning, and as well to Anna's grandparents, who will all be participating in this morning's service, as we offer those wishes of Mazel Tov to Evie and Marvin Grossman, and Blanche and Michael Forman, and welcome each of them. And joining us on the bima, representing our Board of Trustees, who is Gail Ward, who will also be participating in this morning's service. And we are led in song this Shabbat by Jeff Stern, and accompanied on the organ by Chris Kuhn. And we invite you to join with them and to join with Anna, who will be leading most of our service this morning. So for those of you who are our guests and who may not be familiar with our congregation's prayer book, Avodat Halev, our own unique prayer book, these words of instruction will certainly help you to follow along and participate more fully. If you look on almost any page, on the right-hand side, which is marked A, you'll find the Hebrew reading with the transliteration immediately adjacent to it, so that we can all join in, whether Anna is leading us or whether we are offering that prayer in song. We encourage your full participation in the Hebrew. The translation, the meaning of that prayer, is immediately beneath it. And on the left side of the page marked B, you'll find three different readings that reflect the theme of that prayer. Anna has chosen the selection marked number 2. So as we're making our way through the service, where we'll be reading from the left side of the page marked B, it will be selection number 2 to help you find your place a little easier. So if you'll turn to page 11B, there at the bottom of the page, you'll find the words for our song this morning, Hine Matov, as we all join in together. Page 66A.
Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvah and commands commands us to wrap ourselves in the fringe tallit. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has made our bodies with wisdom, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Before your throne of glory, how well we know that if any of this network failed to function, we, your grand design, could not stand before you in fullness of health. Blessed are you, Lord, who heals all flesh and acts wondrously. Please turn to page 69. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with Mitzvah and commands us to engage in the study of the Torah. Lord our God, may the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths and in the mouths of all your people, so that we, our children, and all of Israel may come to know you and study your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Lord, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. We continue on page 71. Please rise for the Baruch. Baruch Adonai HaBarach. Praise the Lord, to whom our praise is due. Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Praise be the Lord, to whom our praise is due, now and forever. We can only stand in awe of the infinite, and yet we reach out, hoping to grow towards your light. The Torah is a tapestry which can adorn the days in which we dwell. Let us embrace it and make it our own. Weave its text into the texture of our lives. Its teaching sustains us, its beauty delights us when we open our eyes to its splendor. It is not a mystery far beyond reach. It is not a heaven beyond our grasp. It is as close to us as we allow it, on our lips, in our heart, integral to our deeds. Let us study its words, fulfill its commands, and make its instruction our second nature. It is the tangible gift of God's love. Weave its text into the texture of your lives. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elohim, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty, now and forever. best known prayer in Judaism is, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one." This prayer makes no request of God. It affirms that God is one. Its recital is not needed by God, it is needed by us. We must be reminded that God is one. We must be reminded that only God is to be worshipped, or else we might worship idols, power, wealth, prestige, or the other false gods which claim people today as easily as 3,000 years ago. That is why we recite the Shema, so that we may be reminded that there is but one God in the universe to whom we should dedicate everything we possess. You made me free, free to choose between good and evil, between generosity and selfishness. Often I feel this freedom as a burden, a heavy weight to bear. Help me to see it as a privilege, one granted to those you made in your image. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. You are wherever your thoughts are. Make sure your thoughts are where you want to be. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu 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 Avraham, Eloheinu Yitzchak, Eloheinu Yaakov, Eloheinu Sarah, Eloheinu Rivka, Eloheinu Rachel, Eloheinu Leah, El HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomer Sesadim Tobin, V'Gomer Yaakov, V'Zoher Haseh, Olot V'Yimamot, U'Mevi Yehulah, V'Nei V'Nechem, L'Ma'a Shno V'Ahava, Melech Ozer, Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah. We bless the source of our faith and hope. We honor the faith in which our ancestors found their strength, for you are the source of all strength. God of Abraham, God of Isaac, God of Jacob, God of Sarah, God of Rebekah, God of Rachel, and God of Leah. We bless the source of our hope, alive within us in all generations. Blessed are you who guards Abraham and watches over Sarah. Who are happy? Those who see a blossoming world and give it their blessing. Who are strong? Those who restrain their grief and teach it to smile. And so we pray for strength to move from loss to blessing, to move from the wounds of life to the wonder of living. Please be seated. Please join me. Our God and God of ages past, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us with your Mitzvah, and let your Torah be our ray of light. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, O Lord our God, let your holy Shabbat remain in our heritage, that all of Israel, hallowing your name, may find rest and peace. Blessed are you, O Lord, for Shabbat and its holiness. With thankful hearts, we have come together to join in Shabbat worship and celebration. We are grateful for the new folks of worship, to reach beyond ourselves, to cultivate a mood of reverence and awe. We are grateful for the freedom to worship, to reaffirm our highest values as individuals and as a community. We are grateful for the ability to worship, to experience God through God's presence, to acknowledge our blessings, and to find greater meaning for our lives. Our lives are drenched in miracles. Miracles are all around us and within us. We are each walking miracles. When we see beauty, what miracle elevates us? When we give and receive love, what miracle warms us? When we pray, what miracle renews us? The thoughts we think, the words we utter, the hopes we cherish, each is a miracle. We live from miracle to miracle. That is why prayer reminds us, be thankful for God's miracles that are daily with us. Source of blessing, our guardian and hope, bless all who are dear to us. Watch over them with your protecting love. Bless the people of this congregation. Guide them on the path of Torah and good deeds. Bless our country, our leaders, and our fellow citizens. Keep us faithful to our heritage of freedom and justice. Bless all your children in every land. Hasten the day when we all can rejoice in a world of peace. We continue in silent prayer and personal meditation.
We turn now in our prayer book to page 86 as we prepare for the reading and study of Torah, page 86. Cherish the Torah, your heritage, treasure its thoughts, its ways. Glean from its pages the legends, the laws, the wanderings, even the wars of your ancestors. Relive the days from Ur to Haran, to Egypt, to Canaan. Learn the lore of your Torah. Remember the patriarchs and the prophets. Remember the patriarchs and the prophets. You are their seed. Carry the torch for your times. Light the way in the vision, the new vision of a new day. Please rise. Throughout the ages it has been passed from prophets to sages to our own time. Now at this moment of Bat Mitzvah do we pass the Torah from generation to generation to generation, from grandparents to parents to daughter, with the hope that throughout her life Anna will study Torah, and from that study draw strength, insight, and spiritual sustenance. Then we rejoice in Torah together before its study begins. For if the Shema proclaims our faith in God, Torah symbolizes our response to God, our personal commitment to a life of faith. We bring Torah into the congregation because it belongs to all of us. And when we bring Torah into our lives, we embrace God's expectations for us. In our beliefs, our study, and our deeds, we bring God's light into the world. Seeking that light, we now affirm our faith as we say together, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Shema
In my Torah portion, we are commanded to celebrate Passover, Sukkot, and Shavuot. Today, I'm reading from a special Torah portion for Sukkot. In the Torah, these three holidays celebrate the harvest, which is why it says we should bring the best and first stuff from our harvest to God. These holidays remind us of the harvest and more. One of my lessons that my Torah portion teaches us is the importance of celebrating holidays. On holidays, we get to show our thanks and remember the history behind the holiday. Holidays also bring both friends and family together. On these days, we give thanks to God for what we have and come together as a community. My portion also teaches us the importance of being grateful. I am grateful for having food, water, and a roof over my head. While I do not have a harvest, I show gratitude when I help around the house. I also raise money for my school and the SPCA, which is my Mitzvah project. On the holidays, my family goes to temple and gets together with other families. One tradition we have is that we host Yom Kippur Break the Fast. It is a great opportunity to meet with friends and family and show our gratitude. I will be chanting from Exodus chapter 34, verses 18 to 26. You can follow the translation of my Torah portion in your Shabbat candles.
to the Torah for the honor of the Aliyot, the blessings for the reading of Torah on this Shabbat morning will be Anna's grandparents, Evie and Marvin Grossman, and Blanche and Michael Forman.
Shavuot, Ta'asi, Laha, Bikirei, Baruch Hu et Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Yoish goyim mipaneha, v'yirati et gevuleha, v'lo yachmod ish et artaha, va'alotaha, le'rot et pnei Adonai Eloheha, shalosh pamim b'shana, lo tishhat al ha'metz stam zivi, v'lo yalin laboker, zeva ad ha'pasa, Rashid, Bikirei ad ma'ataha, Tavi, Peit Adonai Eloheha, lo tishaddi b'halev imo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'hayei olam nata b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. The Haftarah portion I will read is taken from Ezekiel chapter 39, verses 3 through 7. You can follow the translation in the Shabbat pamphlet. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bachar b'yamim tovim, v'ratzah b'divreihem, ha'ne'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai, habover b'Torah, u'b'Moshe abdo, u'Yisrael amo, u'b'Nuyeh ha'emet, b'tzedek. V'hiketi kashteha miyad smolecha, v'hitzecha miyad yaminaha apil. Al harei Yisrael tipol atah b'chol agapecha, v'amim asher itah le'et tzipor kol kanah, v'hayat hasadeh natatiha le'ochla. Al pnei hasadeh tipol ki ani dibarti, num Adonai Elohim. V'shilachti esh b'magog, u'yoshevet ha'im laveta, ve'yadu ki ani Adonai. Ve'et shem kodshi odia b'toch ami Yisrael, v'lo yerau et shem kodshi od v'yadu hagoyim ki ani Adonai kadosh be'Yisrael. Modila, Mubarhimota, Yibrashim Kalafiko Hai, Hamile Wakwae, Baruchata Adonai, Mikadesh Hashabai. For me, to become Bat Mitzvah means becoming a young adult in the eyes of the Jewish religion, which is really another way to say that I now have a lot more responsibility. I am responsible for doing good and holy deeds. I am also responsible to my family, friends, and community. Through this process, I have felt more connected to my tradition and my Jewish heritage in general. It's crazy to me to think that my ancestors have done this exact thing over the past multiple generations. For my Jewish future, I am most looking forward to carrying on Jewish traditions. In addition to reflecting on what this life cycle means, I would like to add some thank yous. I would like to thank my mom, dad, and sister who have helped me through this process. I would like to thank Sue Ellen Applebaum for teaching me how to read Hebrew. I would also like to take this moment to thank everybody who brought supplies and toys for the SPCA. This organization does amazing things, and I'm happy to be able to help them. Finally, I would like to thank everyone who traveled here from Cincinnati, Dayton, Florida, Texas, Chicago, and Cleveland to celebrate with my family and me. Shabbat Shalom.
And as you read so beautifully from Torah today, you read from this portion which interrupts the regular weekly Shabbat readings in which we would just be finishing Deuteronomy and preparing anew to start again in Genesis. Because this Shabbat falls during the festival of Sukkot, we turn to the reading that you read so beautifully about the holidays and the section that you read about Sukkot. There are actually a few times in Torah in which Sukkot is mentioned, each with a slightly different reason for its celebration. It is a harvest festival in which our ancestors went into the fields at the end of the season, unable to return back and forth each night, and in which therefore they dwelled in booths in the fields so that they could make the most of the limited harvest days. It is a time in which our ancestors brought that harvest, mentioned another point in Torah about taking that harvest to the temple for sacrifice. And it is as well mentioned yet again in Torah for a different purpose. A reminder of when our ancestors, going all the way back to sojourning in the wilderness of Sinai, would dwell in temporary dwellings, in temporary shelter, as they moved over the course of 40 years from one place to the next. And curiously, it mentions in Torah there exactly what you thought about and referenced in your words, in your teaching only minutes ago. Namely, that when we celebrate holidays, when we learn about them, study them, talk about them, when we share meals together with family and friends, when we mark sacred moments in time, we are linking ourselves to every generation before us, or as you said, it's crazy to think that they were doing that. And even crazier and more wondrous to think is that generations from now, multiple hundreds of generations from now, that they will be celebrating Sukkot, dwelling in a sukkah, reading from Torah as you did today. They will be talking about what links them to us and to all the generations that came before us. Our tradition, our teachings, our sacred days root us in our past, which is not only to look back and think of history, it is also to help us continue making history, to continue to take our Jewish values and live them in our lives and teach them to the generations who become bat mitzvah, and in turn so that it will be taught to the generations that follow. So as you have prepared today not only to read Torah and lead the service so beautifully, you have also come to understand more deeply and to embrace that extraordinary responsibility in more meaningful ways to you. And our hope and our prayer is that your continued study of Torah, your continued ongoing Jewish learning throughout the rest of your days will help you to be rooted in the past so that you can help create what will be an equally wonderful future. With the hope and the prayer that you will not only be that extraordinary latest link in the chain of tradition, but from your learning and your study, the values in which it imbues you, in you, and the deeds that it causes you to do, that your study of Torah will bring meaning and fulfillment to your life. With that hope and with that prayer, I now ask each of you, if you will please rise, as Anna and I go before the open ark, and as I ask God's blessing upon her.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmorecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'ychunecha. May God's grace and light shine upon you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence ever be with you in abundant years of good health and fulfillment, laughter and love, and peace. Amen. Please be seated.
Dear sweet Anna, well, again you have managed to amaze us and exceed our expectations. We can't believe your big day is here and how wonderfully you have done. You studied and practiced so hard, and it really showed. You continue to be a picture of joy, spirit, and wonder. All of these special people came from near and far to celebrate you and watch you take part in this age-old tradition and rite of passage. We hope that you really take time to cherish this day, the people here, and its lessons. Faith, morality, charity, tradition, and community are pillars of a fulfilled life. You have already been an example of all of these values, even at a young age.
You were born here in Cincinnati just months after your mom's sister and I moved here to start our adult lives. It means a lot to me that you never called anywhere other than Cummings Farm Lane home. Our family, at least the human part of it, was now complete. Your sister had an adversary and an occasional playmate. We had the big sister and the little one, and Daddy now had two little girls, both to turn me to absolute mush. Just as Ellie had begun to make us wonder if we could ever love anything as much, you instantly proved there was plenty to go around. Your independence and spirit of exploration and adventure made us believe in birth order. It It is honestly tough to put into words how incredibly special you are. You are always good for a big hug, a wisecrack, or a silly dance with Dad. I love our rides on the bike trail. You still seem like you like to hang out with your parents, coming along with us and telling us a long story about something that happened that day at school. We pray that that never, ever changes.
There has always been a spirit warmth in real life to you. Once I can finally get you to wake up, every day is full. You are either playing computer games, making what seems like 1,000 varieties of that awful substance known as slime, riding bikes with us, hanging out with Chloe, or socializing with so many of your wonderful friends. There are just not enough hours in the day for your energy. Anna, you are uniformly upbeat and always into something. You are warm, thoughtful, beautiful, brilliant, loving, creative, and entrepreneurial. From a young age, it was clear how athletic you were. You settled on swimming as your primary sport and have continued to progress and achieve. It is incredible to your dad and me that we have another child with so many positive qualities and incredible talents. Not only are we proud of you today, we are proud to call you our daughter always.
You know Dad loves to give advice. First of all, I'm sorry I mean well. I will not, however, let this opportunity pass. Yes, I will again advise you to work hard and be nice, practice until you can't get it wrong, pretty basic stuff. But most of all, what I would always tell you is to really just be you. In Seinfeld, there was an episode where George Costanza did the exact opposite of his instincts, with very positive results, I might add. Fortunately, you won't need to do that. To borrow from another episode, itself borrowed from Superman, be Bizarro George, be the opposite. Keeping the energetic, kind, creative, and thoughtful person that you are really at your essence. Continue to embrace the day and let Anna roll. I am amazed at what kind of woman you are becoming and know you will grow to be. We eagerly look forward to continuing to enjoy what has been an incredible ride and a lifetime of milestones and accomplishments. We love you more than words could ever justify.
And it's with a great deal of pleasure that I have the opportunity now on this Shabbat Chol Hamoed Sukkot to present unto you this certificate of Bat Mitzvah. It will be a reminder to you in all the years to come, not only of the wonderful sense of achievement that today represents, not only of how beautifully you led us in worship and in study, but also of all that you came to learn and feel and understand in these months of growth and exploration that leads to this moment of embracing responsibility as a Jew. So for all of that, and for the wonderful way in which you've led us today, we are proud of you, and we wish you months of health. It's now my pleasure to call upon Gail Warm, representing our Board of Trustees, for this presentation.
You did it. Mazel tov, Anna, Joel, and Sherry. Your family and friends are so proud of you today as you led us so well for your bar mitzvah. You were wonderful. You have so much to be proud of. I want to congratulate you personally and on behalf of our congregation and welcome you into our Wise Temple community. As you know, it was because of your third birthday party, just a few months after my family moved here, that our families connected. When I think back, I remember this smiling, sweet, and kind little girl. You are older now and much taller, but still so sweet and kind. Through the years, our families have shared so much. So many holiday meals, fun nights together, and so much more. You and your family are very special to me and my family. I look forward to being a part of your life for many years to come, and watching you continue to shine just like you did today. Your dad can cry this time, but I did. I would like to present you with this book. It's on the doorposts of your house. It's the Reformed Jewish Prayer Book for the home. It contains many holiday prayers and beautiful readings that can be used at many occasions throughout your life. I'm presenting it to you on behalf of the sisterhood and brotherhood of our congregation. Again, Mazel Tov.
Let me invite us all now to return to the prayer book, turning to page 92, as we rise to return the Torah to the Ark. Yahalelu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado. Let us praise the name of the Lord, for God's name alone is exalted.
It's